Welcome to our deep dive. Right now, the greatest unsolved problem in mathematics is basically being treated like a collapsing 6G cellular network.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about.
Right. Today, we're looking at the Curvature Variable Physics Framework, or CVP. We're exploring how a theory engineered for next-gen telecommunications is trying to decode the Riemann hypothesis.
Which, is the holy grail of prime numbers.
Exactly. And you listening, you probably already know that. But taking terahertz wave physics to police pure math,
Yeah.
I mean, that is just a massive leap.
Oh, it absolutely is. So Timothy J. Dillon originally built the CVP framework to solve molecular scale engineering problems for 6G and 7G networks. He was dealing with this thing called toroidal refractance.
Toroidal refractance. Okay. Sounds intense.
Yeah, it's just a highly technical way of describing how physical waves bend and fold through space so they don't, interfere with each other. But Dillon realized that the underlying architecture of that bending didn't actually need physical radio waves to function.
Wait, so if you strip away the actual physical telecom waves, you still have the structural logic of a signal.
Right, exactly.
I'm guessing he just swapped out the radio frequencies for the sequence of prime numbers.
Spot on. I mean, in a telecom network, a physical wave bounces off a tower to reach its destination. In CVP, the prime numbers are treated as a mathematical wave traveling down a number line.
And because primes are so unpredictable, they generate, massive structural tension in this system, right?
Yes, exactly. So the famous zeros of the Riemann zeta function, they act as the towers. They physically, or I guess mathematically, bend and stabilize that prime number sequence to release the tension.
Okay, so it's like active noise-canceling headphones for math.
That is a great way to put it.
Like the primes are the chaotic background noise, and the zeta zeros generate the exact inverse frequency needed to cancel it out and achieve harmonic silence.
Yeah, and the framework argues that this perfect acoustic balance only exists on the Riemann hypothesis's critical line, which CVP calls the equilibrium axis.
The equilibrium axis. Okay, so that's the framework's visionary layer. But, stripping away that poetic imagery leaves a massive problem. How do you mathematically prove a wave is out of tune?
Right, you can't just hand a metaphor to a math journal. Dillon had to invent a rigorous judicial system to put the math on trial. The framework calls this the admissibility court.
So the court's job is to prosecute any zero that strays off that critical line. But wait, how does a mathematical zero actually fail a trial?
By breaking the system's geometry. If a zero shifts off the equilibrium axis, it instantly fractures into a highly unstable packet of 4 zeros.
Oh, wow. So suddenly those noise-canceling frequencies just don't line up anymore.
Exactly. The system starts leaking curvature and symmetry. And the framework tracks this structural failure using thermodynamics and catastrophe theory.
Let's ground that a bit for the listener. Catastrophe theory sounds really intense, but it's basically the math of sudden shifts, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, say you're bending a plastic ruler. At first, you apply pressure, and it curves smoothly. But eventually, the stress is too much, and it violently snaps.
That snap is exactly what the framework calls a catastrophic fold. As this broken, offline zero scales up, the mathematical stress compounds.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the entropy gets so high that the system gets pushed over that fold.
And it hits a rigidity blow-up wall, meaning the math literally self-destructs into a hard contradiction.
Right, because the system mathematically snaps anywhere else. The critical line has to be the only place where zeros can exist.
Okay, wait, I have to push back here. Isn't there a massive risk of circular logic in that?
Well, how do you mean?
Like if you literally design the system's thermodynamic rules so that it snaps unless it's on the critical line, isn't the trial entirely rigged? You're just proving the rules you invented?
Oh, absolutely. That is actually the most severe vulnerability of the whole framework. It's a massive red team target. But CVP anticipates it.
Oh, really? How does it get around that?
To prevent a rigged trial, it establishes a strict admissibility constitution. It legally, within the math, forbids circularity. The definitions of these leaks and structural defects have to be justified by classical independent arithmetic rules.
Oh, I see. So if the contradiction only happens because Dillon rigged the physics to fail, the proof is mathematically meaningless.
Exactly. It has to rely on independent rules to hold water.
Man, if it does hold up, what this means for you listening is just staggering. We are seeing the thermodynamic geometry of 6G cell networks weaponized to enforce the rules of pure arithmetic.
It really reveals this breathtaking unity across all of modern science. It forces us to look at the fabric of reality differently.
It really does.
And actually, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over today. If the abstract distribution of prime numbers perfectly mirrors the thermodynamic collapse and stress energy tensors of quantum physics, does math merely describe the physical universe?
Or is the physical universe just a macroscopic projection of analytic number theory? It really makes you wonder if that collapsing cellular network of pure mathematics isn't just a metaphor after all. Maybe the geometry of primes really is the blueprint for everything else.